Welcome to Troublemaker and Bass Players. I'm your host, the listener, and today we're going to talk about career-ending crashes. I used to be afraid to fly. My first plane ride was a necessity. On March 14, 2013, I was stuck on the Carnival Dream in St. Martin. Many of you remember this event, I'm sure. Luckily, my first flight ended smoothly, and I have flown quite a bit ever since. Today's episode is about the plane crashes that killed several musicians, unfortunately. Let's start off with, as Don McLean coined it, the day the music died. February 3rd, 1959 would be the final flight for a few musicians. Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and the Big Bopper J.P. Richardson, and one crew member died in the plane crash. Country music legend Waylon Jennings was supposed to be on the flight and switch places with J.P. Richardson, and instead took the tour bus. Waylon Jennings would go on to have a long career in country music. The plane was destined for Hector Airport, North Dakota, from Mason City, Iowa. Unfortunately, due to bad weather at night and loss of control of the plane, it landed in Grand Township, Cerro Gordo, Iowa. The maximum occupancy of the Beechcraft Bonanza, the type of plane that crashed, is 6. On March 15, 1963, an inexperienced pilot flying a Piper PA 24 Comanche headed to Camden, Tennessee from Kansas City would crash, costing the lives of everyone on board. Music legend Patsy Cline, along with country musicians Cowboy Cope and Hank Shaw Hawkins. The crash happened in the swampy area of Camden, Tennessee. 4 years after that, on December 10, 1967, after leaving Cleveland, Ohio, heading towards Madison, Wisconsin, at the young age of only 26, R&B singer Otis Redding would die in his Beechcraft H-18 along with 4 members of the Bar K, their valet, and the pilot. The plane crashed in Lake Monona, Wisconsin. There are tributes at Lake Monona to Otis Redding. Jump forward a few years. On October 20th, 1977, a decade later, and on a much larger plane, a Convair CV-240, which had the occupancy of 240 passengers. In this case of the Lynyrd Skynyrd plane crash, there were only 26 passengers and crew on the plane. They were headed from Greenville, South Carolina to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Unfortunately, they would crash land in the swamp area of Amite County, Mississippi. Ronnie Van Zant, guitarist, vocalist Steve Gaines, backing vocalist Cassie Gaines, Steve's sister, assistant road manager Dean Kilpatrick, Captain McCreary, and First Officer William John Gray all died in the crash. A total of 6 people died, and there were 20 survivors. The crash was due to pilot error and fuel exhaustion. A few more years and an up-and-coming actress and a powerful R&B singer would meet a similar fate. Aaliyah had arrived at the Bahamas only 2 days earlier for the filming of the video for her Rock the Boat song. She finished early, a day earlier than she had originally planned. On August 25, 2001, she boarded the Cessna 402, headed towards Miami, Florida. Due to the small plane carrying too much weight, it would crash 200 feet from the runway, killing everyone except Aaliyah's security guard, who would later die from his wounds. Aaliyah was only 22 when she died. Unfortunately, many great artists have died in career-ending crashes, leaving us with the question of how much great music was never recorded. Thank you for listening. This is Troublemaker and Bass Players. I'm your host, the listener, and thank you so much.